messed up something on the desktop audio. All right, there we go. Oh, that is the wrong overhead topic. We'll get rid of that quickly. All right. Welcome everybody to don't mind me looking in random directions. Welcome everybody to round one of the upper bracket of the First Blood inaugural Blood in the Streets Dota 2 Championship, supported in part by Antline Audio. I'm the source, and we are already getting into the game, but I'll let my commentators introduce themselves.
Yeah, we're not wasting your time here. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dragon Drop. We had to delay a little bit, just to make sure that everything's ready to go and ready to bring you all the cool production value here that we can get. Because thanks to the source doing the production here and taking the burden off my shoulders, which I'm very thankful for. So yeah, anyway, we've got round number one here, and should be a pretty good game because this is one of the first. Okay,
Oh,
thanks, Volvo.
did we kill the lobby real quick?
That lobby's back. Someone did load apparently, so just gonna start the game again. But yeah, we've got Team Crescendo. All eyes on them. It's a bit of a EU rejects, you could say. We got Baby Knight in there, RK of course, and Cinderin. So a lot of eyes on these guys, and they're gonna be up against Singularity, which is the old alternate squad, the guys from Poland. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm not alone for this broadcast. I'm also joined by the one and only Skin Gaming. How are you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me. Yeah, I too look forward to this. Like you said, a bit of sort of, I
Dire
guess a bit
team
of
back.
fame here with Cinder and Ake, Baby Knight, but also Excalibur had a lot of fame going on for him in 2014 when he first broke out into the scene for Fnatic, and of course EGN. And like you said, Team Singularity also not an unknown quantity either. They just came back from Zotac Hut,
Radiant
where to
team
be fair,
back.
they didn't really do too well, but they were also against pretty heavy competition. So, uh, you know, people didn't
Dire
expect too
team
much
back.
from them going into that, but just in general should have been a lot of experience for them going forward. And both of them, I think,
Radiant
I mean, we
team back.
talked about this beforehand, Dragon Drop, but both of them sort of fighting for a spot in the TI 7 regional qualifiers, right?
Yep.
The
Dire
qualifiers are
team
coming up
back.
soon, at the end of this month, in fact. And neither of these teams are really, to be sure yet
Radiant
whether or not
team
they're
back.
actually going to get a direct invite to the regional qualifier. So this is going to be a very important match for them, or in general, a very important tournament for them to show that they are still, when it comes to the tier two guard of Europe, that they are a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, especially
10
because, as
seconds
you said, it's not a
remaining.
lot of time, and obviously there's not a whole lot of tournaments going on
5
in that
seconds
time span
remaining.
until the regionals can come out. So, yeah, now's the time to profile yourself unless you want to go through these perilous open qualifier
Radiant
brackets, which
team pick.
can be quite an issue at times because absolutely brutal with the best of ones. But yeah, as it stands right now, Blood on Streets, $5,000 tournament, quite a nice little tournament to profile yourself and
10 seconds remaining.
maybe make people notice you and get that direct invite to regionals.
5 seconds remaining.
But yeah, uh, let's actually talk straight about the draft because
Reserve time.
I'm not wasting too much time just yet. Batrider ban and Swas a lone druid from Crescendo. Those aren't exactly
Dire
meta
team pick.
bans, are they?
They're really, really not.
Radiant
If
team
you look
back.
towards the meta, you look towards obviously the most talked hero in the recent past was Bristleback. He has been nerfed. Which by the way is also something worth talking about. This is the first tournament on 7.06D, right? So a lot of
10
things have
seconds
changed, even if it's
remaining.
just small changes. They do change the meta a bit. And again, we talked
5
about the Bristleback
seconds
over the
remaining.
past few weeks, and where is he? He's not even here. And I think this
Dire
is sort of
team back.
I think both teams are. This is like a mix of we sort of know each other, and these are the sort of heroes that we don't really feel comfortable playing against. And also, let's experiment a little
Radiant
bit,
team back.
with what is good with the new patch.
Yeah. So I guess we see still some of the old heroes that we've seen quite a while,
Right.
even in these bigger tournaments. Yeah, Epicenter especially, and Jakiro and Sanking definitely two of
Dire
them.
team
Twin
back.
Protector as well. So we have that standard
Radiant
Jakiro
team
Twin
pick.
Protector dynamic with Jakiro being good if it's thrown onto heroes, but you can't necessarily make use of that liquid fire to chip away at towers, which is why I would really love to see Jakiros try and go for this kind of different build. Just put 1 or 2 points up to liquid
Dire
fire,
team
just for the
double.
attack slow and that free harassment. And otherwise, just go ahead and max out the dual breath, max out the ice path earlier than normal to try and make something more happen in the early game. Especially if you have heroes like Sandking, like Nyx Assassin now as well, who want to
10
try and
seconds
make stuff
remaining.
happen as early as you can once you get your basic amount of
5
levels going.
seconds remaining.
It could be an interesting curveball, definitely. Like you said, I think most people these days focus on the
Reserve
liquid fire
fire.
when they do pick the Jakiro, and oftentimes up until very late, sometimes even very greedy up until like level 10, 11, they won't even pick up the ice first point in ice path. But yeah, it could be an interesting curveball to just be like, oh, guess what? I actually only have like 2 points in liquid fire, and I have like maxed ice path.
Radiant team
Here
Yeah.
we
double.
go. That definitely could be interesting, and let's see what Crescendo has up their sleeve. I mean, they've only had one match so far. This is a new team after all, and there's not a lot of data going on for this team right now. I mean, Sand King is a hero they've
10
picked before,
seconds
but
remaining.
ultimately, all the data you can really rely on is either something you know through scrims or just
5
the stuff
seconds
that you know
remaining.
about the players individually. But as a team, you don't really know. All right, what do they favor? What is it that they like playing? You can only really guess because
Dire
of
team
what the
pick.
heroes or what the players like to play individually. AK going for those like safe laners, EGM with like roamers and like sort of greedy fours, and then obviously Excalibur is a sort of more explosive, farm-oriented mid. Um,
10
but again,
seconds
a
remaining.
lot of guesswork here, and I think this is where Crescendo has a bit of advantage. Singularity
5
has
seconds
a
remaining.
lot more matches to get data from. Again, they just did just come back from Zotac, so there's a lot of stuff
Reserve
that Crescendo
time.
can look for in terms of replays, in terms of draft information. But for Singularity, I think if you look towards the bans, it just reads to me as if they're just going along with what they think Crescendo could potentially
Radiant
build in their
team
draft.
ban.
Take away the bit of they see the Jakiro, so they're like, oh, maybe let's deny their push and let's take out the DK.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the way to go. Like if you're not certain about what the team likes to play in this new configuration, you just go by
10 seconds
your
remaining.
own ideas of how heroes should work together, and then you try and pick yourselves
5
heroes that
seconds remaining.
either counter out the heroes that you already see picked up from the opponents, or that just synergize together
Reserve time.
nicely on their own. And that's what we see right now for Team Singularity. You've got the Treant, you've got the Puck, you've got the Disruptor. Very ultimate reliant, but a lot of teamfight control, a lot of silence coming out of that, and this is potentially devastating if you catch a hero like an Invoker in the middle of that. But at the same time, you also have to be careful not to just blow your whole load at once. Right? The problem with these kind of strats is always that if you don't have your ultimates available because you use them all in one fight, then all of a sudden there's a large timing window for the other team to just kind of come in, push towers without really having to fear any retribution. But outside of that, if Singularity can stagger these ultimates properly, then there's some pretty good tools, right? Especially with the Doom now. It's a hero that we don't see all that often, but someone that is quite tanky, can be that brawler, that aura kind of guy in the middle of the team fight, and he also takes one hero out of the team fight entirely, and that's especially great against the Invoker, preventing him from throwing out these big combos that you're looking for.
Yeah, Doom is one of these heroes that Singularity actually
Dire
really likes.
team
They
ban.
even sometimes first face pick it. I was sort of surprised to, or rather, I thought maybe they could or would pick it up again, but when they didn't, I was like, huh, maybe they just don't like it. And then when they did pick it up, I thought to myself, well,
10
it kind of
seconds
makes sense if you
remaining.
look at Crescendo's lineup. Dooming the Invoker
5
is awesome,
seconds remaining.
obviously, but also Sand King or even Nyx Assassin later on, if he does have an Agadams, could be very valuable
Reserve
in the team
time.
fight. But that said, like you said, they are very much ulti reliant outside of the big ultimates. Where's the damage coming from? And I guess this is
Radiant
where the Juggernaut
team
is.
pick.
But still, they are very ulti reliant. They don't have like very safe disables. So not sure how this. I very much favor Crescendo's draft. I think Crescendo is much more stable when it comes to both their lanes, but also their execution. They're not really reliant in terms of timers. I guess they would rely on the Sand King and his Blink Dagger, but outside of that, I think they're very flexible in their draft as well. They can pressure early on, but they can also take it late. They have solid mid game now with the Viper especially.
Yeah.
So I think Crescendo feels more well-rounded, whereas I think Team Singularity is a bit more difficult to execute. But at the same time, I think that's always the case when you have a Doom in your lineup.
Yeah, that's the one advantage that Singularity have probably, just from a team perspective, is that these guys have been playing together for a long time. So that's kind of one of the prerequisites that you have when you draft a lineup like this. That is, as you said, very dependent on being able to execute properly and work together. So Crescendo, of course, we talked about it before. They're all very experienced players, but in a new team, we don't know how they've been scrimming. We don't know how much they've already figured out how the playstyles mesh together. So it's something that Singularity could maybe possibly exploit in this game. But we'll see how it works out with the lanes, especially because normally Invoker as well as Viper, those are both mid lane heroes, generally speaking. And Baby Knight, when he was in Cloud9, Imperial, Danish Bears, however we want to call these guys, he was the mid player as well. So, yeah. Would you expect that classic Viper mid and Invoker in the safe
Nah,
lane?
I think I would actually rather have the Viper in the safe lane, because you can leave the Viper by himself in the safe lane. I guess technically you could have the Invoker by himself in the safe lane as well, but if you consider the Doom to be the offlaner, which he most likely is gonna be, Viper can absolutely destroy Doom. Doom with no base armor is food for Viper. Um,
Yep.
in that sense, you can have the Nyx Assassin and Jakiro very greedy, both roaming or even semi jungling, with pulling, stacking, whatever have you. So I think having the Viper in the safe lane makes more sense, and then the Invoker versus Puck is also a fairly safe matchup. I think.
Yep.
For,
And
I think this
looking at his,
switch makes more sense.
yeah, looking at these items builds, that's exactly what they're going for here with Excalibur. Going for Null Talisman and some extra region there for Baby Knight on the Viper. So he's going to be in that one position. Cards are already trying to be a bit annoying, but all he gets for his troubles is a few taps on the back. So yeah, you already have the boots on the Nyx Assassin. You have that offlane Sanking, who's probably going to get some help at some point from EGM up top.
They could even
So
Trellane it if they wanted to.
yeah,
Again, this Doom, they definitely do not need any help here, or Baby Knight does not need any help here. And I mean, they realize, hey, what are they gonna do level 1? I'm a Viper. So Baby Knight just struts up to this level 1 rune, and yep, they're gonna get it.
even gonna get it. Yeah.
They might even
Now
get this kill.
stun with follow. Yeah, they have the slows. First point in the score, sure, but it's a pretty good spell to keep you alive, but against all these slows, doesn't seem to be enough. And yeah, first blood.io. See what it did there?
They
It
get the
goes
Invoker though.
to Crescendo. They
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 kill
do
the
it at the
Invoker.
same time. How's that even possible? Trim Protector just punching him to death, I guess.
Oh, together with the Disruptor, and he
Yeah.
did skill Thunderstrike level 1. That's a very annoying spell. I will say, for Excalibur, he did get an immediate TP back to the lane, so he at least doesn't miss out on wave XP.
Yeah.
But he does not get the rune and gives away for a lot of experience to these two supports.
Yeah, and Sarge also not too far away from the top lane, so he can already start working away at the Sanking. He hasn't skilled anything yet, so Sinrun just keeping up that option of going for the burst strike to try and get himself out of trouble, which he might need to do if Katsor wraps around, which he's doing right now. He actually uses it aggressively,
Oh, he's
and
dead.
this might just be
For
death
sure.
of Sinrun right now. Yeah, one more punch will do the trick, and there it is.
Yep.
Not a great start here in that lane, that's for sure.
For sure. Speaking of bad starts, though, this Doom as well. He skilled Scorched Earth and trying to get away, but now he desperately needs level 2 because without Devour, there's no way he can fall back into the jungle, right?
Yeah.
So he has to come back to this lane and soak up as much XP as possible. But then just this happens. Look at this. How do you stand in lane against the Viper as a 0 base armor Doom? You just don't. And Nyx Assassin has been pulling the wave and effectively denied the whole wave of experience for the Doom, and there's nothing he can do about it. He can look at him. He's trying to pull, I think, the big camp towards his next free wave, but it's not like Ake and EGM would ever let that happen.
Yep.
Radiant's courier
Yeah,
has
right
been
on top of
killed.
that. Radiant's Courier ends up dying.
Yeah, that's the true factor.
Okay.
I'm not
Was
sure
the
why
courier
it
even-
was there in the first place.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, it was
That was
a
a
puck.
middle lane.
It was a puck.
Puck
I just
middle
saw the
lane?
Treant
What?
Protector punching the Sand King. Oh, by the way,
I'm
Treant
pretty
might be
confused
dead.
right now. Yeah, speaking of Treant, he does have the invest kicking in now, but he also has a Cosmic Finale going, I believe.
No, it shouldn't be enough.
Oh no, it's just not there. Not enough. Okay. Now Alisasha's here just to try and help out, provide him cover so he can TP away. You know, middle lane though, they're gonna wrap around on Nisha here, trying to get some revenge for the courier kill, and EGM misses the stun though. And with that, no way that Nisha drops, so far so good. Top lane, Syndra glimpses back into a spin, so no mana for Burst Strike, which means he dies one more time up here.
Yep, and I think this is where, and as you can see, EGM is already rotating. This is where they need to help Syndrin. As much as great as it may be to deny the Doom his experience and his farm, Doom has an easier way of coming back once he has Devour. Like, he's always going to farm faster than anybody else.
Yeah. At this point, Baby Knight, he's level 4. Patos, he got his
Mid
level 2.
Excalibur. Does he have
Oh.
another orb? He does not. If he had another orb, that'd be that Invoker.
He's already might as
Excalibur's
well be
getting
dead.
destroyed in terms
Exactly.
of offense, by the way.
10 and 1 to 20 and 9. Also the geese denies, of course. Everton 7.05, so much more important, and just up to a point where he even just threw out a random cold snap.
Puck is almost an entire level ahead in terms of experience.
Oh, top lane again. They find EGM sitting on the side. He's level 2 and does have the mana burn. Gets glimpsed back. No spy characters to try and delay them, so it's another kill set up for from Katsor again. This tree just getting so much work done. Even with just level 2.
Yeah, I wonder why they don't just sort of decide to try lane top. I'm trying to wrap my head around what would speak against that. Maybe they just
Well, EGM
Excalibur.
trying to help out. Nisha goes for the kill. He goes across. Will dodge the tower shots after getting the kill. So it's pretty much a solo kill. EGM didn't really do too much to help. Now Nisha might still be in trouble. Does get some help from Katsu though. Arke wrapping around from the other side. And it'll seal the fate of the puck. And now EGM lands stun onto the tree. But now, well, he can just TP out.
Cold Snap, yeah.
Oh, cold snap just in time with the Sunstrike. Will miss. He's actually still alive, but they do have the sentry.
That was like a split second.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's the Crescendo needed to catch a break, but honestly, Singularity has been playing so well on an individual level. You can't even talk about like team achievement or anything. It's just individual skill that they've been displaying here.
Yeah.
Syndrin just falls again. Yeah, 6 kills, and every time we'll just alright. We'll just walk up to people and kill them.
You know, the sandstorm not enough to keep him safe, so this is the point where we just say screw this lane. Because surely
Yeah,
you can't keep going up here and feeding. You have to kind of try and fall back into jungle.
That's what I was wondering. When they rotate Nyx up, I thought they would, challenge the lane a bit more, but it almost seemed as if Nyx Assassin was just sitting there and just, oh, if they go on him, I'll be here, but oh no, they're going on me. Damn it. That's why I was wondering, maybe move the Chikira up there as well, try to contest the lane properly as 3. I think they should have had enough firepower to kill the supports if they had, all 3 of them up there, but I guess they wanted to prioritize farming up on the supports. I mean, Jakiro, look at his level. He is almost level 4. He did pull and stack a little bit, so they did get a lot of experience and farm through that, but the offlane suffered quite a bit.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Alright, so what's the way forward now? I mean, at the very least, you do have Baby Knight kind of free farming that bottom now, with the Doom still not really being able to contest them, but is there any way that they can actually make use of that to try and create space elsewhere on the map now? Also,
It
just a matter of
depends.
like keep farming, keep just trying to not feed, and maybe get some of these pickoffs Katsu found here in the Ancients.
Oh,
The neutral
he
team
did
gets them. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh no.
unfortunate.
Might have been a splash attack even because he might have still been invis. I don't know.
I think it's a bit difficult if you're Crescendo, and I guess this is the sort of weakness of their lineup. Because their laning stage doesn't go well, they have a really awkward transition into the mid game. Sure, Viper is like a mid game dominator, but I think it also depends on which item he goes for. If he went for a mech, I'd say group up when he has a mech and you just go for pushing towers together, and then buy enough time for the Sand King to get his Blink Dagger, and then you just dominate the mid game through that. But looks like he's gonna go for solo kill first. That's for sure.
Is
he dead?
actually still alive. Yeah, 2 points on the Scorch Earth seems to be
I thought
enough.
he would chase as well, to be honest.
I think Katsu revealed himself and just it's enough for Baby Knight to think twice about it.
But yeah, if he went straight for a mech, I'd say sure, you just group up and then try and take towers, gain an advantage through that. But it doesn't look like he's gonna go for a mech. Instead, he's just gonna go for like a cloak, which is also fine because you want to be more tanky. But then
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Invisibility!
A gift from the tempest of battle. I'll take your tribute. What sort of prize is
You
this?
shall not.
Almighty money. Coming through.
Double damage!
Never will you see my face.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Were you a bird of the undersea? We could be no better companions. Here I am! I remember that one from some time long past.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Behold!
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Stag me coward.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
What need have I for this?
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Okay, get another tower under the belt. The trade for bottom tier 1 though, and now Exotic Deer and Alisage. They're both smoked up, looking towards the middle lane. Don't quite have the Static Storm just yet, but they will have another Omni
with the
Slash in
glimpse,
20
that's enough.
seconds. And Nisha wrapping forward. Doesn't have more mana to work with here, so it's gonna have to be the rest of them. Nice tornado here to try to delay this a little bit more. Now, TPN will be cancelled from the top, I believe. But Arke still made his way here, now fighting against Alisage, forced for defensive glimpse, but now EGM. Oh, yeah, living armor not gonna be enough to keep him alive, so this not working out as well as expected here. They did get the kill on sacking up top though, with the help of the Doom, while all this was happening. Oh,
Ooh,
now
Nisha might-
cold snap onto
Nah,
Nisha.
Nisha-
Can he jump to the up end? He will be able to just in time, but he's still very, very
Sunstrike?
low. Baby Knight. Oh, he was thinking about chasing there.
Still could still invoke Sunstrike. Excalibur? No, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it could have been much worse for Singularity there. It was a bit sloppy execution. Nisha had to take like 8 tower shots when he's trying to dive. He was trying to dive the Invoker. But yeah, I guess they only lost the Disruptor, so that's fine. And Crescendo is now grouping up together, even without the mech. I guess that's fine, especially because they know that the puck has to regen back up. But he can TP back into the... Yeah, and he does, and they can fight this, for sure.
does
He
have the
doesn't have-
cooldown,
he
just
has
came off
multiple.
cooldown, and there's a Static Storm as well. Catches only one. A glimpse back onto EGM inside of it, so they all reclaimed Arke. Spin will keep Exotic Deer alive against all this magic damage here. Patos, well, doesn't have that same luxury, so for now it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, heal one, keeping everyone else alive on the side of Singularity though. Well, it could have gone much worse for Crescendo, that's what I'm sure.
For sure.
But they will have to concede the tower.
You know, Puck had like I think like a split second where he could have landed like his dream coil of like 5 heroes, but then they split very well, and he only got 1. Like instead of catching 2, 3, no, he only got 1. Otherwise, yeah, that could have
Look at
been
this.
the worst team fight in Crescendo's history, albeit short
EGM,
history.
this is not a stun, but it does have some help. Katsuo, he is in this. They have the detection at the ready, and this time the Sunstrike will be there. Aki still claims the kill though, now to turn on Patos. Bit of a slow. Kinetic field kept Aki in the area for a little while longer. Enough damage to finish him off. Syndron, yeah, glimpses there. Right into the loving arms of Exotic Deer, and now, well, Syndron beat Baby Knight. They're still fighting. Same for EGM, but, well, they only got the Disruptor so far. Follow-ups down onto Doom with third Burst Strike here in this particular engagement. And now just casual ult there onto the Juggernaut to make sure that he can continue to chase, but Nisha at the same time, well, got himself a nice little snack wrapping around from the back.
This is where you wish there had been a tree and he could have had the root hit.
Yeah, a lot of blood being spilled here in these kind of skirmishes.
Yeah, a lot of mini fights, and I'd say, I mean, it's pretty obvious if you just look at the net worth, I guess. But Singularity pulling out ahead, especially also when you look at the map control. I guess they took fewer towers, but I think the wards themselves speak more volumes than that.
Yep.
They have a lot of good vision. They had better vision even before. They had very aggressive vision very early on in this game.
EGM keeps missing stuns, and now it might be in trouble. A couple of TPs in here, glimpse back into, not quite into kinetic field, but dead another route from Katsur into the spin. Like, normally you look at this draft and you say, alright, Invoker got shut down hard in lane, that's fine. We have an X-Assassin he can set up for these ganks, but EGM has been unable to connect with these to set up for Sunstrikes. Now, middle lane might be trouble. Ake, he realizes, drops the macro power, but Nisha already coming through. The wraparound from Singularity finishes the job, and despite that fire being dropped down, that'll be a dead tier 1 tower.
Yeah, I think Crescendo, the draft, at least when I saw the draft, I had in mind, a very solid laning stage. Like Viper's a lane dominator just by himself. They have two heroes in the Nyx Assassin and the Jakiro that can help out other lanes, and they almost never rotated mid. They, if anything, only rotated top, but also didn't really help that one. Oh, is he dead?
Oh,
Maybe not.
BB
Yep,
Knight.
that's the root.
Root is there, just need to try and right click it down. He's rather tanky though, dodges that kinetic field, but has 3 heroes around him, no help on the way. Will eventually die in EGM. Well, just seeing what he can see, but he has to be careful. Well, okay, Sunstrike on the money here, and they will get that kill, but at what cost? EGM will also die now in return.
It's worth it though. If you look at the 577 gold that the puck gave and the 219 that EGM was worth, that's a trade you make any day. And I guess it's unfortunate that Excalibur didn't get the last hit on the puck kill. That would have been worth it.
Yeah.
Or that would have been even that much better for them. But he's doing the Invoker things. He has his Midas, so he's trying to catch up as much as possible. And if you look at net worth, I guess he's still 1.5k behind the puck. But if you look just at the kill distribution, you would assume that'd be even a bigger disadvantage for him. So I think this is fine for Excalibur right now. They've been doing a good job at making sure that the intention is not on the Invoker. And I think the brunt of Singularity's aggression has always been towards poor EGM and poor Ake.
Yeah. Well, do you see this aggression kind of wane anytime soon, or can it just keep going right now? Or are there any big items that they're waiting on? Oh, hang on, Nisha, Static Storm being dropped here, but EGM, well, as we glimpse back into it, Nisha, not quite dead despite the Sunstrike, and well, by Carapace precast, Nisha, he comes back in, does have the call, throws it out on the 2 supports here, the Doom onto Baby Knight to try to keep him out of fight, but Syndron here, beautiful epicenter, heating water, nice jukes and jibes, keeping everyone running and ready to fight. And it's gonna be the flying creatures who die first, then there's dropped Omni Slash there onto Excalibur, who was caught in the middle of that 3-for-1 trade. This was not the fight that Crescendo wanted.
Imagine.
EGM is dead too.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Imagine hitting such a beautiful epicenter after you've just picked up the blink dagger, right? You have such an atrocious
Yeah.
game, 17 minutes. You pick up the blink, and you hit like a beautiful blink burrow epi, and then the healing ward denies all the damage that you did.
Also, really like this micro from the
Yeah, it
Juggernaut
was
exotic. He
beautiful.
microed it up to the high ground, and then to the low ground, just really working with that fog to make sure that leading ward stays alive as long as possible.
But yeah, I think it's funny that Singularity answered your own question. You asked, is the aggression ever going to stop? And they answered that question by no. They can just keep going anytime. And I guess that's the beauty of their draft. And I think something that we alluded to as well during the draft, they're not reliant. I mean, I guess they are reliant on cooldowns, but they have a lot of damage outside of those big ultimates as well. I mean, the Juggernaut,
Yeah.
I think, was a very good pick here. He's been involved in a lot of fights as well. And I mean, if you look at his items, I mean, I guess he just quote unquote just has a Mantis Star, right? But he's still part of a lot of fights, and
Yeah, I mean,
they
he
just
has
make
Metal
do
Star
with.
face boots 80
Yeah.
minutes in, right? He's doing things, he's doing work. And yeah, I mean, this is where these kind of drafts still work if you manage to pick up enough kills with these ultimates. And so far they've been doing that, setting up for this bottom tier 2 tower. They have no idea that EGM is around. And they will now. Sunstrike comes through, Elisash taken out immediately, and that's good stuff for Crescendo. BB Knight TP's in into the rest of 4 heroes though. Coil on 1, EGM trying to screen, and Singularity think it's better to get themselves out of here. Sinrun blink forward, finds a stun onto the Doom. Not the easiest target to bring down. But they really lust for more. They want to try and find extra heroes.
Yeah, they might be able
Doing
to
the
get this
battle
Doom here.
splits. Yeah.
He's never going to be able to TP out.
Yeah. Nice blink there from
So-
Sinrun here to just
Oh, he
block
wants
up
to
that
devour
particular
creep.
path.
He wants to devour creep.
He
Alright,
gets
he
it.
gets it.
Oh man. How much money is that at this point? Plus 100 bonus gold. Yeah, that's pretty value.
Yeah, that spell got buffed a while ago.
Yeah. I think it used to be like, what, 60 at max level?
I think so. I don't know. But it got buffed very nicely. It had to be Doom. It's difficult. He sort of had to nerf. I mean, I sort of had to nerf Doom like the ultimate, because it was just too good of a spell. So the cooldown just got ridiculously high. It used to be like 90 seconds at some point, and now it's like way beyond that.
145.
Yeah, but
GG.
at the same time, you also don't want the hero to be useless, right? So you have to make up with other stuff. So Devour is one of those spells that is just ridiculously strong.
Poor Arke. Found out by Katsuo. They dropped the call. This was a stack stuff, and that's quite the commitment. And now, oh, beautiful overgrowth though to keep everyone else in. Now the Omni Slash onto Baby Knight. Sinrun trying to create chaos here, but now it just has to run away. But Singularity won't let him. So they have detection for the sandstorms as a PSO, but they have some AoE damage to throw out. And the silence, of course. So snap him out of it. Double kill for Exotic Dia, 3 kills in total for Singularity. And does this ever stop now?
Nope, probably not. They just, and I think this is smart. They just don't give time for Crescendo to ever really come back into the game. Baby Knight invested into the Hood of Defiance to be tanky, but it also sort of takes away his fighting power. You could argue that he can fight because he's tanky, but at the same time he doesn't really deal too much damage anymore.
Yeah.
And obviously we know Excalibur had a really rough game. He does have his Aghanim finally, or I think he had it for a minute now already.
He just picked it up. So
okay.
this is the point where I can say, all right, maybe they have a chance if
Maybe.
Singularity get a bit complacent. Maybe they group up too much, and I mean, there's still some pretty good combo potential on the side of Crescendo. Like
For sure. And EGM also picks up a blink now,
well,
but unfortunately it gets revealed by a very sneaky Treant who might go for some more information here. Puck is... No, he's not coming.
they're getting ready to
they
smoke
wanna
up, aren't they?
smoke.
They are
Oh,
indeed.
And he must
He
have
might
seen
have seen the animation.
Yeah. He might also... Yeah. He
Yeah.
called it. You can see everybody moving back.
Once again, Katsuo is doing so much work on the screen. From minute 1, just setting up for kills, getting the information now at this point. There's so much value out of this pick just on that front. So yeah, Singularity will not get caught out by this particular smoke, and the team fight that, oh god, he runs right into the central wall, poor EGM. Oh no.
Yep. That's the thing. EGM is obviously trying to do the same thing that the Strain Protector is doing, right?
Yeah.
The whole vision game, the whole trying to scout out everybody, and forcing if worst scenario you die in enemy territory, but that's nothing that the enemies can immediately turn into any objective, so that's fine. But unlike
Well, my 22
unlike
top now.
Crescendo,
Sunstra comes through, will connect. They have detection, they do have the
he's dead.
dust. RK, well,
Is he
throws
dead?
out the overgrowth, he's still walking, and he's getting some help, but
Oh,
Doom to cancel the TP. A lot of hate on this poor Jakiro, but now Syndrome with the epicenter finishing off the kill that they went here for. But now he gets slowed down, but the Fusion Blade glimpses back into a Static Storm, and now he's gotta hate his life at this point.
yeah, for sure. I guess at least they killed the Treant Protector. Would have been worse if the guy had
Yeah.
survived. Um,
But
but yeah,
it's oh,
oh,
that's a nice
that's
pickup
nice.
though. This is what you look for. Nisha even tried to blink in to share some of that damage, but ultimately was still enough to grab the kill. If EGM can get out, that would be good. But Singularity, they've always been so good with
2 seconds
these
on his blink.
reactions.
He doesn't have a TP though. Blink, my boy.
Now the coil. Try to get range for the blink up to the high ground, but coil catches him. Once again, Singularity just always so quick with the TP reactions, and they
Yep.
still have most of these TP locations up and running. Especially if you're this deep in their side, you still have the tier 2s, and you of course still have the shrines available.
I think the big advantage for Singularity in this entire game has been the fact that they're not really item reliant. If you just look at their lineup, they're not really reliant on that one item to really help them, you know, win a certain team fight or a certain situation. Whereas if you look towards Crescendo, they definitely need to blink on Syndrin, and before they went for the smoke, they waited for EGM to get the blink on him. They definitely need the Aghanims on the Invoker, and they need the Invoker not to die
Speaking of
here.
Invoker,
That would be
yeah.
very important.
Total
Like
Tornado will not hit
Excalibur,
anybody exotically, even
double
as a DD
sentry.
rune. Yeah, he's not surviving this, despite the stun coming through from the Sin rune.
Or
Well,
maybe.
has to spin it
No.
off, but yeah, he's dead. They have the detections, so the root will snap Cinderin out of that sandstorm. And okay, that's the Omni Slash for the last take. Exotic DA, he's not messing around. And now, okay, next one on the list. What do you even say to this? Casual triple kill for Exotic DA, running down one after the other. And one of them is the hero that you're relying on to try and get you back into the game, and the Invoker.
Yeah, at this point, it's just really difficult. A point I was trying to make earlier is that Treant Protector and Nyx Assassin sort of serve the same purpose, except that just because Singularity has such a huge advantage, they can afford to have all the counter vision against the Nyx Assassin, but Crescendo can't afford to have just random sentries in the entire jungle trying to catch out the Treant Protector, right?
Yeah.
So this is where the Treant Protector has just been such a big nuisance, such a big help for Singularity, and he's been making a lot of space, finding these openings. Like almost, or a lot of these engagements have started out with him punching somebody, applying medallion minus armor, and just making sure the others get there in time to kill somebody.
Yeah. The best thing is he's doing that with next to no net worth. He just now picked up the Solar Crest, and this is just one big item that he has. But yeah, he's created so much net worth for the rest of his team, especially the Juggernaut. Exotic DSing at 15 kills right now. 15, 0, and 10 on this guy.
That's insane.
Next one is Nisha, 6, 2, and 11.
Well, I
So
guess
these cores, they're living life right now. They have everything they want. Blink and Veil plus the Link Spheres. They can take another fight here. Nisha has to coil on 4. Katsu's there. Overgrowth potential to follow up here, but you don't necessarily want to fight around the shrine just yet. Yeah, just use that space to get out.
they could smoke up here. If Singularity wanted, they could immediately smoke up and try and go for the kill. Or for the
Or
gank.
just get a free kill on Sanking here, perhaps. Treant Protector got the initiation. Ice Pipe is there too, but Exotic Deer still spinning it out. The rest of Crescendo don't seem to want to help their body out. It's the last year too, and that's the glimpse they find him on these slash as well, transferring on to Baby Knight. It's a soul kill for Exotic Deer. Well, Arke survived for a little bit longer as a result, but he had to run the gauntlet to try and
mid
get
lane
back to
Excalibur.
space. Oh no,
He knows
please
that he's
no!
being trailed though.
Static Storm, right on the
Doesn't matter
money.
if
The
you know or
shrine is
not.
there, but well, did they actually have enough damage with the shrine? Sunstra comes through, Patos, nice little tornado. But yeah, he's all alone. And he's out of options, out of spells.
They might be able to force a buyback out of him. They will definitely push top now with Exotic Deer already starting off at the tier 3. Once everybody has rotated, I'm not sure if Crescendo wants to have these Rex fall. Their heroes don't really do... I guess they have the Sand King and the Jakiro, but do you really want to fight with Rex down already? I think you want to fight now. Yep.
I think so too here. Nice start. Cinderin though messed up the blink somehow. Something cancelled it.
I think Nisha canceled it.
Yeah. He was playing behind the freaking tier, behind the racks even, to try and create the space to finish off the tier 3.
Alright. This is not looking good for Crescendo. And Singularity, it's almost like you can't really point out any wrong moves that they did in this game. They just trying to do everything. I think they just do everything that is necessary to win. Like, every move that they've made is not perfect, but it's very well thought out. They force out a buyback, immediately fall back, go for Roshan.
Well, Nisha, beautiful phase shift here, of course, with the Lincoln Sphere. Gotta pop that first. Gives you an indication. All right, better press the E button now. I was a little bit worried that for EGM there for a moment, if he just walks into a random sentry or something like that, he might very well lose a gem that they just picked up for him. And this is one of these things that they can't really afford to go bad. I mean, it's Roshan, it's kind of a given, it's bound to happen eventually. But you can't give up a gem. You can't give up any more like solo pickoffs out on the map. What they need right now is a really good high ground defense, and it's gonna be a tough call. It's gonna be very hard up against Aegis.
The thing about the solo pickouts at this point is not even the fact that they would give away any kill or any money or anything. I mean, certainly they've given away a lot of money already at this point, but they need everybody for these high ground defenses. They have a lot of potential in their fights. Honestly, they have so much AOE in their team fights, and they have so much power behind it that I'm not like if they find a perfect execution, they can easily team with Singularity. They just need to find it, and that's why they need all 5 heroes alive. That's why I hope that EGM here, for example, doesn't get caught out, or Excalibur.
Katsu has his own gem. He finds him. He's a little bit felt. Meanwhile, back though, yeah, they do get the Omni Slash onto Excalibur, transfers over and back to the Invoker. Both of these heroes end up dying. Don't get enough space to show one of these kills on camera, so
Did he?
apologies for that, but
No.
no one has buyback
It's-
on his Crescendo,
No
so
buyback on Invoker.
yeah.
He did use it for the last high ground defense, I guess, if you want to call it that. And that's Rax. Don't think they can really defend this. They could go in if they wanted to, but I don't.
Force forward on
advise this.
to Baby Knight to commit to Doom again. The Shrine is going, but just too much damage. Despite the ice buff coming through from Arke. Nisha
The
is the
cheeky
one
little force staff.
claiming that one. Yeah, it's just like, hey, you look at us. Why don't you come a little bit closer? I was like, oh god, maybe please no.
I don't.
Yeah, it's top Rex going down. Mid Rex soon to follow, I would imagine.
I think that's one of those things that you just don't really expect, to be honest. Just because I don't know. I think the Disruptor also just picked up the Force Staff as well. I don't know, just not really one of these things that you really expect, so it's a bit unfortunate for him. And Singularity will take game 1.
Yeah, I'm not casting this anymore. It's just way too mean. But yeah, the G has to come out.
There's no doubt in my mind that Singularity takes this game.
Yeah. But indeed. And
great game from them.
Yeah,
great game from them. I still think that I would have preferred Crescendo's draft going into this, just because I think, at least from how I would have laned it in my head, I think it could have worked out better. But I think also Singularity just played and executed that draft very well. I think the Train Protector, I mean, we've singled him out in the game before already, played very well. I think the Doom could have been potentially denied more in the lane. Like, I think the fact that he didn't have Devour at level 1 could have been exploited more. Like, really make sure he doesn't hit level 2 for like another 4 minutes, basically. I guess with bounty runes that's like not necessarily possible, but still, I feel like they could have either you make sure that the Doom gets even less than your Sand King, or you make sure Sand King gets much more, right, by rotating both supports up. I think that could have potentially saved Crescendo. Obviously, that's something that you can easily say in hindsight, but I think at the time even I wonder if the trade-off of getting both support sort of farm and experience was worth not giving anything to Sand King.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
that's what has to start, I guess. But yeah.
So we had a fairly dominant game won by Singularity. We are going to so we're going to cut the post game a wee bit short. Normally we would have gone a little bit longer, but I'm going to cut the post game short so that we can reset the stream, guys. So we'll be back in about 2 minutes for the stream to fully reset, and we'll be getting into game 2 between Crescendo and Singularity. This is Blood in the Streets Dota Championship, brought to you guys by First Blood IO, Antlion Audio, and FYM Hot Sauce. I'm the Source. Joining me is Skim and Drag and Drop Dota. We'll be back in just a few minutes, guys.